Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Now, I know a lot of you are going to think that today's video is going to be about all the anti-gun bills we're facing here in Washington right now. As many of you know, we are the Bloomberg testing ground. A lot of the stuff he takes to other states, he brings here first, because our politicians are more than happy to act like trained seals for his money. So, right now we're facing a Bloomberg blitz. But I really don't want to talk about it right now because I've been dealing with it on multiple levels for the last several days, and it's kind of bumming me out. Plus, there's nothing we can do right now. At this stage, we can make no changes. They already know who's going to vote for what and how it's going to pass what committee and where it's going to go into the Senate. So there's nothing we can really do. We've done what we can do so far. I will keep you updated when we get to a place where we can do something else. And I will give you some more information later this week. But for my own mental health, I don't want to talk about it tonight. In fact, I want to talk about something far more serious and far more important for the gun community, and that is the question, when is Alec Baldwin going to jail? If you've been paying attention to this fiasco, you've probably noticed his latest attempt to pass the buck as far as the blame is concerned. He said all along, even though I'm the producer, I'm not responsible for what goes on set. Even though I'm the one that took the gun outside the armorer's control into a place to practice with it, I'm not responsible for that, even though I'm the one that did it. I'm not responsible for having an incompetent, unqualified armorer, even though I'm the one that hired them. He's been saying a lot of things. I never pulled the trigger, and we all know that's wrong. But his latest thing he's saying now is he's having the armorer themselves, and I'm sure they're doing it his direction, to sue the manufacturer who made the prop rounds for accidentally putting some real rounds in there. And I want to talk today about how ridiculous that actually is, simply because of the things we know. Let's look at what we know. One of the things we know is that there were live rounds on the set already. Someone had brought live rounds. So that's a fact. We've got multiple accounts, first-hand accounts and testimonies to the fact that someone had brought live ammo and that certain members of the cast and crew were firing the gun just days before the accident. So we know there was live rounds brought on set on purpose. Another thing we know, a lot of the crew members actually walked off set in protest of Alec Baldwin being the producer because they said he had created an unsafe working environment on set. Part of the people were upset about how they were firing live rounds and guns. And several other things that they didn't think were being done right. So even though all that, Alec Baldwin says, wow, the manufacturer must have put real ammo in the packaging, or at least that's what they're having the armorer say. Here's the thing. These companies that make this ammo, they don't usually even make real ammo. They provide props to production sites or studios. All they do is load blanks. So I'd like to know how they suddenly got a few live rounds in there. If you don't have the ability to place live rounds in a casing because your machinery is not set up for that, if you're not set to put an actual bullet in there, you don't even have actual bullets or the machine that puts them in, how are you doing that accidentally? Because if you've ever seen blanks being made, it'd be real hard to throw a bullet in there and get it to load when the equipment's not set up for that. So I highly doubt that that happened. And when you add on top of that it's hard to believe it happened, that they already had live ammo on the set, that they knew they were shooting on purpose, makes it hard to believe that that's where that round came from. And like I said, I'm sure this is just another attempt by Baldwin to push the blame further away from him. But as far as I see it right now, he was the producer. He hired the armorer. He made the decision to go practice with the gun without the armorer present, which is a no-no. You're never supposed to do that. Also, he made the decision that he doesn't check the gun. Most armorers will tell you if you don't check the gun, they'll take it from you again and say, now it's safe, now you check it. I haven't found one armorer yet that I've seen testify that's actually a professional armorer agree with what he said about how we're never supposed to check the gun. The armorer will take it back away from us if we check it. You might have dealt with one or two assholes like that, but there's no way I would ever not check a gun if I was going to shoot it. So all these things add up to the blame falling right at Alec Baldwin's feet. Because like I said, he was one trying to cut corners. He hired possibly an incompetent armorer. He decided to go somewhere and play with the gun, practicing with no proper supervision. And as far as an armorer handing it to you and you never checking it after an armorer hands it to you, an armorer didn't hand it to him. His buddy production aide assistant or assistant director handed it to him. That's not that guy's job. So this new attempt to push the blame to the ammo manufacturing company, I don't buy it. I don't think it had been possible for them to make ammo, at least not likely. And plus, we already have the smoking gun of they were shooting live ammo out of the gun days earlier. So they obviously knew they were in possession of live ammo somewhere on that set. So this whole story is just cock and bull. I don't believe it. I do believe Alec Baldwin bears responsibility for this, and I don't dislike Alec Baldwin. Like I said before, I like his movies. Beetlejuice and a couple others. I like him on Saturday Night Live. I think he's hysterical. But he did something. He did a series of things that were bad. Hired a bad armorer. Allowed live ammo on the set, and he knew about it. That's what people who walked off the set even made a point of saying. He knew there was live ammo on set. He knew he was going somewhere without the armorer to practice, which he knew was a no-no. He didn't check the gun before he fired it. And then he lied about pulling the trigger. Sounds to me like someone's got something to cover up. And he's not turning over his cell phone after it's been subpoenaed. So sounds to me like someone's playing the blame game to try to get out of this. And this time, the blame he's pushing onto the company through the armorer just doesn't make sense. Because like I said, all the things we know about what was going on the set, combined with how unlikely it would be that that would actually happen, just makes it seem like this is just another attempt for a guilty man to stall the inevitable. All right, with that being said, I want to remind everyone out there that we are still doing the fundraiser for gun websites, 2A Activism, and his SHOT Show trip. We are pre-selling a very exclusive patch. We're still taking orders. If you want to go over to gearwebsites.com, you can order one of the Fudd Free Zone patches. G-Webs has already done some early prototypes. There's going to be some changes, though. But once they're done, they will be mailed out to everybody in February. But you have to pre-order them now. And they're going to be very exclusive. However many we sell, that's how many we're going to make. And all of the proceeds are actually going to activism. G-Webs is someone who has never sold out, and he actually shows up and does the work. And he definitely doesn't do it for fame or money, because he doesn't make much money, and because he never even shows his face. So he obviously doesn't want to be famous, and he doesn't get in good with the right people to make money and connections. He actually fights the fight that makes a lot of people who have the money and connections upset. Believe me, I know about that. So if you want to help out gun websites, activism, one of the people who have never sold out as far as the gun channels go, please go over and pre-order one of the patches. I'd like to thank you in advance because you're really doing a good thing for a good channel that will make a difference. And with that, I'm done for the day. So I just want to thank everyone for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you come back again tomorrow. Until then, I just want to remind everyone out there to always carry and stay safe till I see you again.